Okay, I'm going to take us through day 3 of our lesson on the Mongols. Today we're looking at what are the impacts of the Mongolian Empire. So we're looking at essentially the effects of the Mongols, okay? So our do now question is pretty straightforward, and it's asking us which empire conquered more land than any other in human history. Well, that would be the Mongols, and we also want to understand how did they do that. Well, there's a few things we can put. Number one, they were under the leadership of Genghis Khan. Number 2, they were skilled in their use of the crossbow. Number 3, they were very effective at riding horses, and they could stand up on their horses and use the crossbow at the same time using something known as the stirrup, which would allow their feet to stay in place so they could stand up. So those are the notes for today. And let's take a look at today's reading. Okay, so the reading says, through their conquest and strong-handed rule, Genghis Khan and his sons and grandsons who followed him created stability and peace in the Mongol Empire in the 1200s and 1300s. I just want to make a point here. They're talking about Genghis Khan, but they also reference that his sons get involved in ruling and his grandsons, okay? Historians now refer to this period of order as Pax Mongolica. I've always was taught as Pax Mongolia, so it's okay if you use Pax Mongolica or Pax Mongolia, which means Mongol peace. You may recall that the years between 27 BC and 180 AD of the Roman Empire were known as the Pax Romana, or the Roman peace, because of the prosperity in the Roman Empire that resulted from a strong central government and few wars. The same was true for the Pax Mongolica. So it's essentially a golden age. And we know that during a golden age, there's not as much fighting, there's more trade, there's more innovation, the arts do well, technology expands. The political stability, meaning the stability of the government, during the 100 years of the Pax Mongolica led to more and safer trade on the Silk Roads. Under the protection of the Mongols, so the Mongols are protecting the Silk Roads, goods and ideas move between China and the Middle East once again. So you see lots of cultural diffusion happening here. Most importantly, the innovations that started in the golden ages of the Tang and Song dynasties spread to the rest of Eurasia. So they're talking about these technologies such as the compass, paper money, the concept of printing. These all spread, gunpowder too, spread to the rest of, and when we see Eurasia, that's a combo between Europe and Asia, so it's spreading to 2 continents. Chinese techniques for making paper, printmaking, the compass, new agricultural techniques, and the use of gunpowder were then used and improved upon by people in Central Asia, India, the Middle East, North Africa, and eventually Europe. Okay. These innovations spurred historical events for centuries to come, including and we're going to get to this down the road, one of my favorite topics in 9th grade to teach, the Age of Exploration, during which European sailors, using compasses for navigation, traveled to the Western Hemisphere. The Reformation, which is another event we're going to learn about, a religious movement fueled by the writings of a monk named Martin Luther, whose ideas circulated in paper pamphlets rapidly produced by printing presses, and gunpowder continues to spark conflict throughout the world. So let's take a look at the questions here. During which years did the Pax Mongolica last? Well, that's pretty simple. We're going to say between, we'll say in, they didn't really get too specific, but in the 1200s and 1300s. What does the phrase Pax Mongolica mean? They say right there, Mongol peace. It's a golden age. What effects did the Pax Mongolica have on the Mongol Empire and surrounding societies? Well, more trade, right, which leads to cultural diffusion. Sorry for the sloppy handwriting there. And some of the ideas that were diffused were compass, paper money, gunpowder, So they are responsible for expanding trade on the Silk Roads. And then what effects did the Pax Mongolia have on future societies? Well, it sets the stage for, there's really two big events it sets the stage for. Number one of my favorites, sets the stage for the age of exploration. The Europeans now know how to navigate their ships better with the compass. And they also talk about an event known as they didn't get too specific, but it's called the Protestant Reformation. It's one of the topics I'm going to get into with you guys in a little bit. It's a religious divide in Europe, and that's an effect of the printing press. Okay, so that's our lesson today, and I hope you have a wonderful day, everybody.